You don't exist, nor do I. Not at the present moment. It's like a dream. You think those are your thoughts. You think that's your will. You think you think that's your personality. That you think it's you. It was already scripted. It was already put in the cartoon script. Just like when Jesus was down here, we're talking about Jesus, who is God. When he was down here doing what he was supposed to do, he said he followed the script to the T. We're talking about Jesus, the image of the Godhead bodily, down here, and said he's going to do God's will, because he realized that if this machine that we're in, it's a birthing machine, and this machine, the devil's trying to manipulate, plain and simple. Look, they're going to try to destroy the earth because they, just like abortion, they want to convince you that abortion is okay and that it's not murder. What are they going to do with the earth? They're going to try to abort the earth. The earth is, the whole thing is going to be delivered up to God at the end of the millennium. The Bible makes it clear. This whole thing will be delivered up to God. Just like delivering a baby. The baby comes out and the doctor delivers it to the parents. Jesus, the doctor, is going to deliver the sons of God back to God. And the devil's trying to abort it. The program, they know it's a program. They know it. Why are they trying to go to Mars? Because they think if they go to Mars and they hang out in Mars, or they hang out in space and they destroy the Earth, I don't even think they're going to try to destroy the Earth per se, but just if they're not the elite, they're going to try to destroy. I'm not saying explode it into pieces, because they want to come back to it, but they're going to try to kill everybody on Earth except for some machine man elite. They're trying to make AI. They're trying to turn mankind into AI. And those who join up with the 666 AI, they'll get to go up into spaceships and Mars or the moon or whatever, and they're going to there's going to be this great constriction, and they're going to try to kill everybody on the earth except for the machine man. And then Jesus comes back to destroy those that would destroy the earth. And the saints come with him. That's what's happening. And all those who join in, all the Hollywood and all the ones who join in to build up the technology, all the millions and billions of dollars to build the technology and do the experiments to try to get the machine man into the human, they're trying to silence the people who can see it. They will silence me because I really see through this thing now. And you think your little circuit that you go through, you go to work, you go home, you pay your taxes, and you just keep doing it for 40 years, and then you die. But all them taxes you're paying is to go to build up this system. Your money, your taxes, everything that you're doing, working for these corporations, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, all these big corporations that you're actually benefiting as you go to work every day. Guess what? They're all building the machine man. They're all going to try to destroy the earth. And they're all headed towards it. And they're already attacking the population. They're doing everything they can. But you go around your little circuit. You got that job at Amazon. Oh, I'm an Amazon employee. Oh, woo-hoo. But you're a slave. You're a slave, Neo. You don't even know that the big picture. The big picture is they want to destroy the earth because they know it's a simulation. They know they're not even in control. They just submitted to the devil's. So you got God's will, And you got the devils lying to them and tell them, hey, you're in a cartoon. God's controlling it all. You better usurp God. That's what they're being told. And be your own God. And you can live forever. We got the technology. We're going to have you live forever, but you got tied to a machine. And God's trying to stop that, because think about it. Who wants to live in the energy of the flesh, the sinful flesh, their whole life? This is exactly what's happening, people. They're trying to live forever and destroy the earth once it's purged and the great constriction, the great tribulation. Then they come back and they live on earth, 666. Everybody's one big happy world. We are the world, age of Aquarius, and they're putting their fist up against God. But it's not going to work, because Jesus is going to come back with his saints and we're going to rule for 1,000 years. That's what's happening. Because they're mad that it's God's will and it's God's script. They hate that. Why do you think they want you to read the book of Enoch? Why do you think they want you to read all their books and all their priest class stuff? They don't want you doing God's will. They want you doing the will of the Gentiles, will of the flesh, and the will of mankind. And so when you're doing God's will, they say, oh, I don't think so. Resistance is futile. So the Borg Hive is trying to pull you in, and they send agents your life to try to pull you in. And it could be a Jezebel, a Delilah, it could be anything to pull you into that reality. So the script is God's script, but the devil, he's using a big matrix to try to write a script that he wants, because he's still trying to usurp God. And so when you try to usurp authority, it shows rebellion. You're trying to usurp God. It's so hard to believe when you wake up to it that what you're really in is it's such a big matrix. It's such a big, the Bible tells you, but you got to have enough data points to see it. You got to read Revelation. I read it 8 times, verse by verse, and I did research on it. I think what I'm going to do now is go through it one more time and ask AI, what is chapter 1 saying? What is chapter 2? I'm going to go through it one more time and see if I missed anything. Elon, Amazon. Think about what Elon's doing. Elon is doing that. He's bringing in the 666, the electric cars, right? Everything's electric. They can shut it down anytime they want. SpaceX, they're going to space. They're trying to make sure they can go to space. Tied to the brain. He's just a figurehead. He's not doing all this by himself. They tie the stuff to the brain. 666, SpaceX 666, trying to leave the earth so they can destroy the earth. Tunnels, the Boring Company, tunnel underground because they're going to try to hide from God. What else? What else is he doing? Amazon, he's shipping the Amazon leader, he said, one day you're all going to be working in space. That's what he said, and you can't come back to the earth unless you got enough credits or something. That's what he said. Apple, the app, Eve ate the apple, Apple Watch, on your wrist. You're like little ants, and these guys are playing you for a fool. Your school system, there's a school bus right behind me. They're teaching you to follow a worker bee mindset. Worker bee. And they're putting pressure on all the corporations. Why do you think they're doing 2% inflation as their goal? Instead of just getting out of debt. They always want you to work harder and harder and harder and harder. Who did that? The Pharaoh. he made it harder and harder and harder for the Israelites, and they finally left, and he chased them down, tried to kill them, because he hated their freedom. And you're going around worried about a football game, basketball game, shoes, clothes, all this stuff, and it's like they fooled you and made you believe the biggest, fattest lie in the whole world, and it's already written in the Bible. And if you studied Revelation, you would see it, and you would say, "Oh, it would knock you down. You would fall over, and you'd say, "Oh, they're all in on it." The left, the right, Elon, Gates, Bill Gates, Apple Computer, Android. What is Android? Machine man, tying you to the Android machine. And nobody can see it. And everybody's worshiping Elon. And he's just being propped up. He's had enough wives now. If he's one, there's always an Antichrist. There's many Antichrists, but now he's done had enough wives that his desire is no longer to women, right? That matches the Antichrist. I don't know where he's from. Say he's from Australia. I think the Antichrist is from Lebanon or somewhere over there. I'll have to study it again, but I might be able to use AI. We might be able to use AI now to zero in on who the Antichrist is or will be. All the data points. Don't be mad at anybody, because in the flesh mind, they're not even real people. The only time you're going to be fully real is when you see Jesus face to face. That's the real people. The born again are the real people. That's why they're persecuted. That's why they're persecuted. It's wild stuff, people. Once you have this knowledge and you see this, how can you talk to anybody? How can you have a conversation with anybody of any depth? Because everything they're saying is surface level. How can you even talk to anybody? They can't see it. It's obvious what Elon Musk is doing. He's digging holes to hide from God's judgment. It's in the Bible. He's trying to leave the earth with a spaceship. He's tying the people's brains. I mean, he's doing it in your face. The cryptocurrency, all digital. He's trying to get everybody electric cars so they can shut your car down anytime they want. They don't want you using gas or petrol, because that's freedom from their network, their grid. If you got gas, you're off grid. If you got gasoline, you're off grid. I gotta go to sleep. This is just too much information that's being downloaded. And so you're not your own. You've been bought with a price. It's never been your will. It's always God's will. And resistance is futile, really, for God's will. Now the 666, that's not true. Resistance is, God gives you grace down here to do things. But have you ever noticed you're limited? Certain things you're trying to do, and He limits you. You want to marry this woman, He blocks you. You want to marry this woman, but He blocks you. Why is that? Because He has a script for you. He has a script. It's to protect you, because He's already written the script of your God's will. Think of it as a cartoon. And you try to do your own cartoon script, and He blocks you, because that's not your calling. Your name is your calling. If you wrote a cartoon, you would let's say there was a good character and an evil character. You would name the people according to that, like the dark, let's say instead of the dark character, you would say dark side. And the light character, the truth character, you say true light. One would be dark side, one would be true light. And the dark side's always trying to overtake the light, you know. If you wake up to this, you might have to go get a 6-pack and get drunk, because when you really see it for what it is, and it's playing out right in front of you, and you've been blind to it your whole life, it's just like Neo. You might have to seriously. Everything that's happening in front of you, when somebody knocks on your door, or somebody calls you, somebody emails you, it's not a coincidence. Either it's the devil's script, the devil trying to write a script, or it's God trying to put you into his will. It's the devil's will. Somebody knocks on your door. It's either the devil's script or it's God's script. And you got to have the wisdom and know enough Bible to know, enough Holy Spirit conviction to know which script it is.